I don't know how really editing this is going to, how many parts.
No worries. Yeah.
Okay, so let me back this up. I was going to say, my deal is 2001, September 11th, 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. We had all these agencies that had to respond to a catastrophic incident in New York, right?
Right.
God, man, I still get highly pissed. I'm probably beat red right now. I still get pissed off about that. But the major issue they had was communications between them.
Yes.
What is that, 19 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? We're still in the same boat here. We don't have the same radio systems. We don't have the same radio channels. Somebody's doing on digital. Somebody's on analog. Somebody's on a trunk system. Some 800 megahertz, and no one wants to. We not only can we not share radios if something catastrophic happens, and you think we would have learned that lesson. But the way it is in Texas, y'all, is everybody wants an empire. So you get police chiefs, and I'm not naming any names. And I'll lump myself into this too. We all kind of build our own empire. Don't tell me how to do what radio.
This is my piece of the pie. You stay out of my piece of the pie.
Yeah,
right.
And thank God, nothing catastrophic has happened to us here. I mean, if we had to go to Cedar Hill to help them, we can't talk to them. There's not even a talk around channel anymore. It used to be a talk around channel. Mm-hmm. No matter where you were in Texas, you could go to that channel, and you could. It would be it was simplex. You could talk to other departments. You can't do that now. But that's other counties, and this is a bigger issue than that. I mean, let's compartmentalize this to Ellis County. What do you see to be we all go to incident management training down in Limit, Law Enforcement Management Institute down there, and we all know what we're supposed to do. But who's driving the train? Really, how are we going to operate? There's not a state agency that comes in and hands you a radio and hands me a radio. Would this fall on the emergency management area, or? I mean,
I know. When I was chief deputy here, we were without an emergency management coordinator at one time, mm-hmm. and we actually donated
McKenna,
Mike McKenna, to be the acting emergency management coordinator for the county. And during that time, his first day doing that, or second day, was Magna Blend explosion.
Oh yeah,
it was like here. He's like, oh my goodness! But he did a phenomenal job. But yeah, I mean, we've had several incidents, similar to that, and
that was a big one.
Yeah, no, that was a big deal for national news.
What did we learn about that though?
I don't know.
And that's what scares me.
Not enough, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. The tornado that we had that came through here. The county's emergency management person was kind of the focal point. The sheriff's office and all the police departments and constables' offices and everything, fire departments, everything else kind of worked with them.
But it was all on scene. If you knew that area got hit by a tornado, you go over there. You couldn't talk to the fire department guys until you got there. You couldn't talk to the police in that jurisdiction until you got there, and it would be one-on-one. So and I'll go back to several years ago, and you might remember this. A bank was robbed in Waxahachie.
I was there.
I was too.
Yeah,
we couldn't talk to each other. That
was the sheriff's office and the constable's office could talk to each other. We couldn't talk to Waxahachie PD at the time. Yeah.
And what had happened is we're sitting out on the perimeter for Waxahachie PD. They go 10-8 eventually,
right?
And we're sitting out there going, "Hey man, what's going on with them now? Where are they at now? Is there and they're already back at the department, high-fiving each other. Or I say high-fiving. They didn't find a guy that day; he wasn't there. But the point being is there was no way for them to contact all of us So I wouldn't have known if the guy went through my perimeter or not. I mean, and I know this is way out of your purview, right, sitting at this table, but I think the people need to know that for what gets done in this county is pretty phenomenal because of those issues,
Right.
So you really got to take pride in your sheriff's office. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, there's not a lot of deputies on the street. There's more police officers in the jurisdiction on the street than there is deputies on the street at any one time. And these guys do a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job.
No, they're absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
unfortunately, the sheriff's office is used to doing more with less.
Yeah.
Then they've been doing it that way for
like
a long time. Yeah, right. So, I mean, and they've gotten quite good at doing more with less.
Sure. I mean, you can bitch about it, but bottom line is you still got to go out there.
Get the job done.
Yeah. When I worked for the sheriff's department, I can remember being in Red Oak, and I had to run all the way down to Milford. On the west side of Milford, there's that trailer park, back in well, there was a domestic situation going on there, so I had to run code 3. I'm in Red Oak, so I ran code 3 till I got, because I had to have gas.
Right.
So I run code 3 till I get to the barn here. I had to come to Midlothian to get gas, get the key, turn the lights and siren off, get the keys.
Yep.
And I pump gas and then lights and sirens all the way down to Milford. And it was like a 30-minute 911 call.
I've driven code 3 in this county to an emergency call to back up an officer that was needing assistance for 45 minutes. And that's running.
It's so tight.
That's running as hard and fast as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize how big this county is.
Yeah. Almost 1,000 square miles. It takes a minute to get around.
It takes a minute to get around, and it never fails. You're on one side when the call comes for the other side. Never fails. They used to tell us when we worked at police department in the city that whenever you felt like you needed to use the restroom, you needed to use the restroom. You better use the restroom because sure as shooting you didn't. Yeah, you have an accident. No. You're out there waving traffic
for hours.
For hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, let me for the people here. They kind of like the levity sometimes, Let me tell you a story of what happened to me. I was I was a Marine, and I retired from Marine before I played this game, right? This police game. So when I got out when I was training, FTO they call it, field training officer, you're riding with somebody that has all this experience and really doesn't want anybody riding with him, but he's forced to train somebody, Right. And the guy I was riding with had cancer of the throat, and he's passed not too long after this. But he'd have to eat a biscuit. To swallow anything, about all he could do was eat a biscuit. So, if y'all don't know this, that when we take a prisoner, some suspect, when we take them to jail, either on warrants or something that we've witnessed on view that is an offense, we can't go into the jail with our firearm. We have to put that firearm in a locked box. And at the time, no one, as far as I know, no one was putting it in the trunk, which is what you should do before you put it in the lockbox. So I'm with my FTO guy.
I know where this is going. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm ready to hit the street, man, and I'm, ready to charge. He's had all that all his life, and he ain't that hard charger, right?
Right.
The ain't nothing he can't do in a minute. There'll still be a bad guy out there, is the way he looked at it. So we go to the donut shop, typical thing for a cop. And I don't want to be seen in this donut shop because I'm a cop and I know what the cliches are.
Right.
So he's leading this party. So I'm sitting in there. He's sitting there with a bunch of old men around the table. You know how they do around here, right? And they're discussing everything. Not one
solving the world's problems.
Solving the world's problems, absolutely. Right. And doing a pretty good job at it.
Right.
Yeah. Making some other problems to solve.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I'm being polite because I don't know anybody. I'm not butting in because he's senior to me and he's doing the talking. You know how you are when you're FTO. So he goes and introduces me here and he tells him, he goes, "This is Mike Jones. He's I do hire, and I'm training him right now. And one old man looked at him and he says, well, how long do you have to train him before he can start carrying a gun? So I'm pointing over. My holster was empty because we had just arrested somebody. And
still in the lockbox in the
Sally still the lockbox. So now I'm panicking, thinking that we got to go get that firearm. Well, no, that's not how he played this.
Right.
You know, he just sat around and he probably knew that, before that guy pointed it out, but I didn't know it.
Right. So
I felt like the biggest idiot. I can't say. But that's what goes on with police departments. People think that we have no personality. People think we have no.
I know many people that very scenario has happened to.
I do too now.
It's usually the same thing. You took somebody to jail, you locked it up. And,
yeah. I have, since I've been on my own. When I get out of the vehicle, if I'm taking somebody to jail, I put my pistol in the trunk of my car,
which is still secure because it's in the Sally port and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if you leave and you go,
you still got it.
It's in your trunk.
Right. You're close.
Right.
You're close.
You'd be like, just a minute, because I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Because at that time you don't know when it's going to jump off and you're going to have to be super cop.
You brought something up. I've got to tell a quick one too, because I'm a pretty new officer in the city of West, which is a Czechoslovakian community. I loved working there. Good people.
They're known
there
for their sausage and.
Oh yeah. So we get a call to a disturbance, and my partner had arrested somebody earlier in the evening and had gone to jail. Well, jail there is in Waco. Highway 6 jail in Waco. So you're 40 minutes from West to Waco. So he'd gone to jail, came back, and so we had he had just gotten back into the city, checked that he was in the city, and we get this call for a domestic, and it was a regular, and it could be pretty. It could be bad. I mean, there's sometimes you're going to
domestics you never know.
Sometimes you weren't. I mean, this particular, we knew this house.
Oh yeah,
we knew this couple. So I get there. And I'm inside, and I go to the door. We're doing whatever. He pulls up. Well, he comes up to the porch. I'm fixing to knock on the door. We're fixing to make, do our thing.
He's your backup officer?
He's my backup officer, and he's carrying a shotgun. And I was like,
he knows something I don't know.
Well, I knew it wasn't, but you don't typically grab a shotgun out just to answer every call. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, come to find out, he left his gun at Highway 6.
40 miles away.
And only gun he had, at least he's smart enough to grab the shotgun. Yeah. At least he had one. So, anyway.
It's an embarrassment to have an empty holster because that's the first thing they key in on. Right. It's like, you're here, you try to act like super cop, but you don't have a, so anyway. And I will tell people right now that being police, and I know this is the way you are, and if not, you can always correct me here.
No, go ahead.
I mean, is that we don't always charge somebody. We don't always arrest somebody. We don't always. We really want compliance. I can.
And that's why we have discretion.
We have discretion, right?
Absolutely.
And there's
every call is not an arrest. Every traffic stop's not a ticket.
Even though you can.
Right. Even though you can.
Yeah. And I even go so far to tell my deputies that work for me. If you leave your ticket book here at the station, you won't be tempted. I'm not telling you not to stop anybody, but when you walk up to that vehicle, let's say you leave your ticket book in your car, right? You have to make that determination before you get out. Are you going to give this person a citation?
Right.
And then don't let that person talk him. If you tell yourself, no, that's not what I'm going to do. And then you allow that person to talk.
Don't write attitude tickets.
Yeah, that's my deal.
Sure.
Because we have so much power when it comes to that. Really, I mean, if we write a ticket, they got to accept it.
The whole time I was an administrator at the sheriff's office, from lieutenant, captain, and chief deputy, I told the guy, I don't care if they ever write a ticket. I really don't. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's ways to get compliance without, especially kids. I hated writing kids tickets because kids not going to pay that ticket. His mom and dad are.
Yeah. So, and the insurance is going to go up. Kid ain't paying for the insurance.
Kid's not paying for the insurance either.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different deal. But no, and that goes to something else. But to me, this job is about service. It's about helping people.
Yeah.
And do we put bad guys in jail? Absolutely, we do. What do we do the majority of the time? We help people. Most of the time, it's good people having a bad day. It's not bad people. We deal with bad people, but most of the time, it's good people having a bad day.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, way more than it is just straight bad people.
They just fought 2 hours of traffic before they got here.
Right.
They're not breaking this, any of the traffic laws because Mike Jones is out there.
Right.
They're just trying to get home. They're teed off about something else.
And I promise you, Brad Norman is sheriff. We're not going to have deputies driving by stranded motorists.
Good.
They're going to be pulling over and seeing what they need. If there's a big strapping guy in there and he's fine and he's got a flat tire, then fine. We're going to be behind him with red and blue lights on to make sure he doesn't get hit when he changes his tire.
Keeping the traffic off.
If it's an elderly couple or a young mother with some children or whatever, we're going to change tire. We're going to go get a gallon of gas or whatever. Help these people. That's what we got into this for, is to help people.
Right.
So why would we not do that? The sheriff's office should be thought of like a business. Number one, financially for sure, because you're the money that we're spending is your tax dollars. It's your money. So why would we not treat that as such? But then even so, think of it as a business as far as customer service. You go to Walmart, you go to any business, you want good customer service. You want them to treat you like a valued customer. That's what the citizens are to the deputies. It should be is a valued customer. So
the citizens are, in a long way around, they're who we report to.
Sure, absolutely.
And our department, the sheriff's office, is a reflection on them.
Absolutely.
So they don't want to go up to Dallas and say, I live in Ellis County, and they go, and then somebody says, what do you think about that sheriff's office down there? They're doing some crazy stuff.
Right.
So it's a reflection. What we do is, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, what we do has these ramifications on our citizens. And too many young guys, some of these old heads out here wearing a badge, they have forgotten that their sole reason for being here is to protect the public. Now, it's not protecting the public if the guy's out there running 66 miles an hour and a 60. It's not,
right.
If that deputy or if that police officer is not currently employed at that moment and he wants to make contact with that guy to slow him down, I'm all about that.
Sure.
But I'm not all about the lecture.
Is different from,
Yeah, I'm not all about a lecture, why are you going so fast? Didn't you see me? I'm not all about that, and I don't like that. And I know we don't have that here, but we have a tendency, even if I see an officer do that, obviously I'm going to say something, especially if he's in my chain. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But those officers that do that to people is a reflection on you and I. We're a reflection on our citizens, but those young men are a reflection on
Absolutely.
So it's a leadership issue. It was one thing to be an administrator.
And expectations go along with that too.
Sure.
Because your troops need to know what you, as the elected constable of your precinct, what you expect.
And what you'll accept.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And that should be nothing short of excellence. I mean, that's what we should all be striving for. Honestly, and I'm not being facetious. I'm being honest. It should be excellence. I mean, we want to be the best that we can be. I want the Ellis County Sheriff's Office to be the absolute best sheriff's office it can possibly be. I want you safe. I want your property safe. I want your kids safe.
And again, that's a reflection on the citizens. If you're the best sheriff's office in the state of Texas, and if you're not, and you're striving to be, that's a reflection on the citizens that have put you there.
Sure.
So,
absolutely.
And you know how I feel about integrity, so, and I know you feel, the same way. You have your own thoughts on integrity, and it's a big deal, man. And I think too many officers don't realize
that's really all you got.
That's all you.
When it boils down to it, that's what you got.
Yeah. So I used to tell
your word, your integrity.
That's the only thing
they're all wrapped together, but that's what you got.
You don't own your house, even if you pay your house off. The federal government could still come get your house because you didn't pay your taxes. So your cars, you could pay them off, or the bank owes them. You really don't own anything except your name and your integrity. Now, No one can take your integrity away. Hey guys, listen to this. Write this down. No one can take your integrity away. And I've told this for 30 years. But you can give it away. And once you give your integrity away,
it's gone.
It's gone. Can't get it back. You can't get it back. So no matter what, you have to, especially if you're carrying a badge. If you're carrying a badge, don't lie on an offense report. Don't over embellish an offense report.
Absolutely.
Don't do it. Don't do it because it's your integrity. And I've seen people do it, and I'll never do it. If that guy gets off, so be it. If he does it again and I catch him, then I'll be smarter and more, craftier. But I will not lie on somebody. I don't care. There's been several people who've done me wrong in this county. We're not going to get into it, but I wouldn't lie to get them in trouble, to get back at them. Won't do it, even though they lied to come after me. And I can't stand these guys,
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean.
But it's my integrity.
Absolutely.
So, the reason why I hit on that integrity so hard, because police officers, out of every occupation possible, police officers and anybody in law enforcement has to be honest. They have to be honest.
It's a career ender. It's an absolute career ender.
It could be a life ender for somebody else.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I think I've hit on that before.
But even the little things.
Yes.
Even in the little things.
Yeah. If they know you're crooked and you're arresting them.
Right.
Man, how uncool.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us safe. That's what keeps the people that
That's no ethics. That's no values. That's no integrity. It goes right back to what you said. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
The people that we have to deal with, I tell people there's good and bad everything.
Sure.
There's good plumbers and bad plumbers. There's good preachers and bad preachers. There's good cops and there's bad cops. When we identify a bad cop, guess what? We're going to deal with it. And we're going to deal with it immediately, swiftly, and justly.
Yeah.
Just like any other profession. But there's good and bad in every single profession out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say the overwhelming majority of police officers are doing a great job. It's a thankless job a lot of times. And it's a low-paying job a lot of times. But they're doing it because they want to help people. They want to do the right thing. But just like every profession, there's good and bad in everything, and you're gonna run across one occasionally. And when you do, you deal with it, and you deal with it. Correctly.
And that's the key. You, as a leadership, like you said, you hit it on a while ago, is that if they know what the guy at the top, what he will accept and won't accept,
yes,
and that's a good man at the top, then that ruffles downhill. If there's not a good man at the top, that too will go downhill.
Sure.
It's just the nature of the beast. So I'm stoked that you're running, and I'm a big supporter of yours. You're my friend, but more than my friend, you can do this job, and your personality, people want to please Brad. So really, you can't lead by intimidation.
No,
you got those people have to do the best job they can because they want to please you.
You talked about Lehman a minute ago, and one of the things that they teach, and even back in my criminal justice classes back when I was right out of high school and college, but it is servant leadership. So, and leading by example. I ran the narcotics unit here for a number of years as a sergeant and as a lieutenant. As a lieutenant, I was responsible for all the administrative stuff at the task force at the narcotics unit.
That stinks.
But it does, but it's still part of what you have to do.
Sure.
But even as a lieutenant, I led the task force in number of cases every single year that I was there because I enjoyed doing the job, and that's it. I never asked anybody to do a job that I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah. Or not know how to do the job, but tell somebody they got to do that job.
Right.
And I think too far.
But it's also motivating to those people. When your lieutenant's out there busting his hump and he's making more cases than you are, and you're an investigator, and this guy's supposed to be taking care of the administrative stuff.
Yeah.
That gets those guys motivated. Ask the guys that have worked for me. That's a great motivator. Right. It really is.
The other edge of that sword, though, is like the sheriff being out there at nighttime, going out on traffic stops and then calling his deputies to come arrest this guy.
I'm not going to do anything I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything that I'm not going to do myself. I catch them, I'm going to clean them. That's